Alright, hello. Hello, today's date is 10th February 2021. Uh, right now, I'm making some sort of experiment with English session and also shooting with English session. Yes, it's most of the things happen most of the times is like when I'm shooting. When I speaking English, it doesn't feel really good or anything like I'm not really judging, I'm just recording my English, okay. And that is all these things happen because of that English session is recorded in audio format. So an audio format, it while recording it looks really easy to do this, but when you are listening audio recording, it feels really bored, okay. So that's why I'm making a video. So basically I do understand about in everything, and what I have to do, how should I be improvement in this thing. So I will keep doing this, and it will be really important for me also because English is really important. Yeah, if I don't do that, it's not gonna happen. So yes, it is okay. Right now the gimbal is tracking my face, so basically the composition is not really good because the face is actually in the center. So basically you can see this the headroom, and it's not really good. So I'm kind of exit the face tracking because I don't need it, and I'm just composite my okay. This looks really good, okay. It looks like 1/3 of rule. So I'm placing myself into this, so I'm watching here, and it will give some sort of leading lines. So alright, so today we are talking about lesson 4, and lesson 4 is composition techniques, movement and shot type. So what is exactly a composition? And right now I'm just reading this. Composition refer to how to element on the screen, actor, screens, uh, uh, scenes, props appear in in, repeat to each other, and within the frame itself, knowing how to arrange specific shots for specific reason will have generate impact on the audience, keeping them engaged for the longer period of time. What is exactly a composition? You don't really understand what is a composition. Composition means arranging things. And what is the arranging things? It's like I'm talking very really easy to understand for this thing. Okay, arranging thing means like you have some sort of music notes. Okay, no, it's music note is also really complicated. Okay, um, have you heard the word organize? What is organize to you? Organize means you are organizing things for easy to understand, easy to get the object. Like uh, your table, everything is really organized. Its book is not in the center; is always in the side, and then there is a table lamp is always in the side. So basically, everything is organized. Okay, organize and arranging, it's kind of like the same thing. Yes, but organize, it's kind of like a being. We are organized for specific purpose, like getting things quickly as possible. Okay, uh, but arranging is kind of like the arranging things that for the particular situation. Okay, so I don't really understand what is arranging and organizing. Okay, this is actually you are looking, this is the frame. Okay, and right now I am sitting at 1/3 of the screen, and this is the screen is completely black. Why I put this screen is blank? Yes, because nobody is there. But why I do that? Because it's the composition and it looks really good. When you are doing this, it looks like I have some sort of space while talking about. When I was in the center, it doesn't feel really good. Yeah, so basically you need to put the actor, scene and camera and props to in particular place so it looks really good on the frame, and that is called the composition. Okay, and composition sometimes it's really looks good. You have to decide what is exactly important. Okay, and there are lots of things in it. Yeah, not only the actor, props and camera, it also light. Yes, right now my skin is kind of like looks really dark to you. Why? Because of that I locked my autofocus and auto exposure, so it just like it's nothing changed. Okay, it does not too much expose, it does not too much dark, it's like really constant. Okay, so composition is matter, and it looks really good to audience and it looks really good in the frame too. So composition is really important. Okay, so there are so many things do we need to understand while the composition. Okay, and what is this? Okay, there are finding the shots. Have some kind of idea what you want to capture, spend time with it, use your environment, use props, communicate, be patient, plan and anticipate your action. Okay, how you are taking the shots. Okay, it's kind of like a really important. So you do need to understand there are so many things while you are taking shots. What is that? First, you do need to get some idea about uh, what am I, what what is my perspective, what I need to talk to the audience with this frame, with this camera. Okay, so you do need to understand. You have actually before you shooting, you do need to plan. You do need to understand. Okay, and you do get some sort of idea what I need to shoot. Okay, then there is spend time with it. If you have some sort of subject, that is subject is kind of like sometimes it's person, sometimes it's location, sometimes it's something really another thing. Okay, so you do need to spend some time with them, because if you have some sort of person, so try to make them laugh and understand uh, how they look when those people are laughing. Everybody looks really good when people are laughing or some sort of smile. Okay, so when you have subjects, you do need to spend some time. So because it's important, yes, it's really important to spend some time with the uh, subject or actor, because you do get to familiar, and you will also tell them what I need to do, what inside my head to get this shot, and what is my perspective, and try to tell your perspective with your actor. And also actor is also is try to telling the story about his own ways, what his perspective, try to understand the actor, because in the end actor is important and actor is in the frame, and our priority is our frame. So we do need to understand uh, what's the actor, spend some time with the actor, because it's really good. Okay, um, environment, sometimes environment it's look really creepy, sometimes environment it's not really well, but sometimes environment it's much more really important. So environment is kind of like a really important factor, because it will affect your frame, it will affect your actor, it will affect everything. Okay, so you do understand environment matter, because sometimes it looks like a really daylight, and sometimes it's look like a really low light. Okay, in daylight they have too much of light, and the low light situation there is nothing light. So uh, it's not just about the light, there are so many things. Like environment means not just a light, there are the particular people, environment, and because we cannot change environment, it is whatever it is, we need to take decide according to the environment. So we do need to research about the environment, what it looks like, what's today's weather, it would be really warm or it would be really cool. So make plan according to the environment, because you can change everything but you cannot change your environment weather. So you do need to understand this factor. Properties are really important. What's the props? Okay, what is the properties? Properties inside the frame, you are seeing something like this is the wall, is the property. Okay, so this is the this is kind of like a something you can see, and this is also a property, so you need to put somewhere else. Okay, you cannot see the in the frame, but you need to change the properties, you need to change the location of the property, because sometimes props makes really important, because not only telling the person is telling the story, but there is not just a person, there are so many things like properties, like when you see something old objects. Okay, so you can understand whatever things you saw, it's happening in the past. Okay, but when you are see something really advanced or really future, so it's look like really this thing happens in the future. So properties makes really important, so you do need to spend some time with the property, but not too much, because it's like it's kind of like the your main character is your actor, you need to put time on the actor. Okay, properties is kind of like a secondary things. Okay, environment is also is kind of like a really important, but properties also, if you have some shot for the properties, then you need to understand the properties. If you don't really interested in the properties, you don't really, your frame doesn't belongs to the properties at all, so it doesn't get too much. Okay, props is looks really good when you put in particular manner. Okay, or particular the in the frame, that is really important to put something for the particular reason. Like I seen this wall and it has some sort of reason, like this wall is giving me shadow. Okay, so that wall has a particular reason, not for the frame but also in reality. So it's like you do need to understand those things. Communicate, trust me, yes, you are the filmmaker, so you definitely need to communicate. You do need to elaborate your idea with your team. Because of that, in the end, everyone has to be in same page while shooting some sort of scene, episode, or movie. Yes, because of that, you have some sort of idea, like I need to shoot like this way. So you need to tell your idea to your team, and not just only everybody, just like particular people like your DOP, your actor, your assistant director. You need to tell all those things, because in the end those people are really important. Okay, so you need to tell your idea, you need to tell your imagination thoughts about what I seen, what I see for what I want to see this scene. Okay, so communication is really really important. You do need to communicate with your team, your actor, your colleague, everyone. Yes, because there is the only way to understand what is exactly director want, what is exactly the filmmaker want. Okay, yeah. Sometimes we do need to be patient, yes, because in the film, okay, everything is on the time, but there are some sort of film is kind of like a depend on the situation, like you are going to the shooting in a wildlife sanctuary, okay, so you do need to wait for the particular animal has to become, and you need to shot, okay, so animals came for the particular situation. It does not came when you came and you just say come on and he won't come on because it's an animal, okay, so you do need to be patient because sometimes patience is really important. Another example is that you need to shoot some sort of beautiful sunset or sunrise, but it takes some time. You are at the location, but sunset is at 6:20 and you are reach at 5:10, so you do need to wait an hour for a particular shot, okay, so patience is really important key for the filming because everything is not gonna happen. It happened in particular period of time, or it happens, it's kind of like a depend on the situation, so you do need to wait for that because patience is really important in not just a patience for the environment or animal. You do need to patience for the people also. You don't need to don't need to yell at your people uh, because in the end people is really important, your team is really important because you are going with your team. You cannot make movie alone, you do need everyone, so for that thing your team is really important. So try to understand those things, try to understand your team, and go forward. Plan, yes, before every shoot, trust me, plan is really necessary, yes. Plan for everything, plan for each shoot, each frame, each equipment, camera, what do you need, what kind of things you need, what location you do need to go, what kind of thing, what kind of vehicle I have to reach that location, how should I stay there, is there some sort of available to rest, and there is how should I take this shot, is there need some sort of equipment, do I need a gimbal, do I need a tracker, do I need a dolly or some sort of things. You do need to plan because when you are shooting there are so many things, so many people, and you do need to understand everything, okay. And before you shoot, I'm telling you, make a plan because planning is really essential. Okay, I'm kind of like a um, uh, fan of like a things happen in some sort of things happen in a really particular way, but you do need to understand planning is really essential because when you don't plan anything it happens really not so good way, okay. If you are if you are thinking Mahabaleshwar is a really good place and I'm going there and I will be shoot, but you don't really plan for anything, so the environment is looks really good, but you cannot shoot because your mobile phone is die, your camera batteries die, you don't have enough space, so you do need to understand planning is really essential. And it's also depend on the what kind of shoot you are doing, like you are travel filmmaker and you are traveling, so planning is small, okay, but when you are shooting in movies, so you have to be planned, and there is some sort of pre-production is already happening while shooting a movie or shooting some sort of scene, okay. So planning is really essential, okay. Anticipate the action. What is anticipating means it's like I don't really understand what is anticipating. I'm just trying to tell, but I don't really understand what is anticipating. Choose your aspect ratio. Aspect ratio is the relation between the width and height of your photo. Simplify put it is the shape of the photo or video. I already told you aspect ratio. What is the aspect ratio? Aspect ratio is the width. Right now you are watching is this video. This video is 16:9 aspect ratio. It's a really big aspect ratio. Okay, but there are so many aspect ratio you do need to understand. Okay, and aspect ratio is really important because composition is mainly depend on the aspect ratio. You do need to understand what is your aspect ratio, and then according to set the props and properties according to the aspect ratio. So I'm guessing aspect ratio is important. You do need to understand there are so many aspect ratio like 16:9, 21:9, then 4:3, 1:1. Okay. There are then there are so many things do need to understand while the composition, and composition has some sort of things, and so what is that thing and what kind of thing do I need to understand? First of all, symmetry. What is exactly a symmetry? Symmetry means you are seeing, okay, for that thing you do need to understand with the image. Okay, so I put the image. Okay, so this image is actually belongs to the best example of the symmetry. This symmetry is kind of like looking from the center, and left and right looks exactly same as it is. So this is called a symmetry. Okay, actually you can saw this thing at the road, not the road, actually temple, or there are so many examples. You just need to search symmetry photography in Google, and you can find out millions of photos, and you can find out it's really good. Okay, and symmetry is always be really amazing to look, and feels really good. Okay, so symmetry. Then the rules of third. What is the rule of third? Right now you are looking at, I'm kind of like I'm not in the center of the frame. I am in the 1/3 of frame, and 1/3 of frame is blank. Okay, so you need to put the subject or person in 1/3, so it looks really good. Okay, but there are so many things for the 1/3, like I am looking here, so that's why here it is blank. I cannot put this space in blank. Why? Because there is nothing, it's a complete wall. But here it's kind of like a open space, so you can see this thing. So I put the 1/3 of rule of blank space here at the right side of my right side, but left side is kind of like a enclosed. Okay, it's depend upon the environment, like in here there is nothing, in there is something, so I need to put something there. So that's why I put this 1/3 of rule, 1/3 rule of one, rule of thirds. Okay, then leading lines. What is the leading lines? You can see this is kind of like a leading lines, is like leading some sort of things, but it's not actually perfect example for the leading lines. You can see symmetry or some sort of shadow or some sort of things, like it's leading to the subject. Okay, so that is called leading line. Okay, it's kind of like a not good example, but try to understand. This wall is kind of like a leading to myself. No, it's leading to there, like it feels like that ki, it is a really long it's a really long parapet. Okay, so leading line is really not so important, but it's like you do need to understand. Creative shots come from the those things, so you do need to understand. Okay, framing is really important, yeah, because you do need to set your person at particular frame, like don't need to be put too much headroom, don't need to be cropped too much. You just put the subjects in particular way that audience will attach, and it looks really good. So framing. And then there is angle. There are so many angles like low angle, high angle, medium angle, and parallax, and so many things. Yes. Then there is movement, like you need to put the camera to parallax, like rolling or some sort of panning, tilting. It's kind of like a movement. Okay. There are so many equipments required for the filming, and it's not necessary requirement, but if you have some sort of equipment, it will help you to become better. It will help you to become a really better shots. Okay. First of all, tripod. Yes, tripod is really essential for filming because it will gives you really steady shot. Okay. And steady shot is always looks really good, but sometimes sometimes shaky shots is also really good too. It's also depend upon the mood and situation, but most of the filmmaker use tripod, and most of the filmmaker use handshake also, handheld also, for depend upon the situation of the scene. Okay. Tripod head, then tripod leg, then there is a rail, or some sort of say dolly, or it's kind of like a track actually inside the bottom of the camera, and it will follows the subject according to the tracks. So I'm physically moving camera close to the subject, or away from the subject, and for that thing we do need to be rails, or trucking, or trolley. Okay. Then there is a gimbal. Right now you are seeing this video in a gimbal, and gimbal is really important. Why? Because when you are walking, or when you are doing, there are some sort of shakes happen when you are shooting while walking. So for that shake has to be minimum. While this gimbal, it's a 3-axis gimbal, you can move your camera up with your gimbal, so it gives you really smooth transition, it gives you really smooth way. So gimbal is really necessary, and it will do all the operations like tripod do, or everything. So most of the filmmaker use gimbals. Yes. Then there's Steadicam and rig. Mostly the Steadicam and rig are kind of like word are for the cinema camera, because the cinema camera is just really heavy. They have some sort of 25-50 kilo have camera with lens. The whole machine, it's kind of like a big heavy machine. So for this heavy machinery, you do need a heavy rigs or camera rigs, and those camera rigs are really expensive, and those are for the cinematic camera or cinema camera. So we don't need to talk about, because there are too many rigs, is the what is this? First of all, I don't really get the name, but there are so many rig over there. So there are some sort of movement of the camera. We do need to understand of the movement of the camera. How should we move the camera according to the scene, and what is its important? We understand for this thing. First of all, zoom. Yeah, zooming is really essential while you are looking at something, and quickly zoom at that particular person, and it's not actually placing the camera closest to the subject. No, it's just like zooming at a very far distance and zooming from the lens. So yes. And then there is panning means this is the panning actually. Okay. And then there is a tilting means that is a tilt. Okay, you are upside down, so that is a tilt. Okay. And then there is a dolly means your camera is going straight towards the subject, that is called dolly. Okay. And Then there is a tracking. Tracking means you are actually tracking the subject. You are actually tracking the subject according to the scene, according to the camera rig, because the subject is moving and camera is also moving with the subject with horizontally, so that is called tracking. And then pedestrial means you are lifting a camera from bottom to top without changing its angle, so that is called pedestrial. Then there is a focus rack. That means you are focusing one particular person to another particular person, so that is called focus rack. Okay, so yes. Then I'm talking about the shots. What kind of shots is available? There are so many shots. Like first of all, establishing shot. Established shot is actually set by the drone or some sort of its established shots is like a scene where it is happened, when where is this scene actually happened, and for the particular location we shoot by the drone or aerial view, so that is called established shot. Okay. Then there is full shot. Full shot is actually is a completely full shot. That means you have person and you can shoot a full, you can see his toe from head, so that is called full shot. Then there is a medium shot, like you are shooting a man above from his cumber to his head, that is called medium shot. Then there is close-up shot. Close-up shot is this like a close-up shot. Okay. Then extreme close-up shot is like this. Is like you are particular seeing eye or mouth, so it is called the extreme close-up shot. Okay. Then there is upshot. Upshot means you are looking from the top of the bottom, so that is called you are looking from the bottom to up, so that is called upshot. And then there is a down shot. Exactly, you are looking at the down, so that is called down shot. And then there is POV shot. POV shot means person of view, so what is exactly person is looking at you, looking at the environment, so that is called POV shot. So right now this is it. There are so many things according to this scenario and composition. We do need to practice about the filming and so many things, because I do need to film. And right now I think let me charge the gimbal, and then after that I will try about transitions and how should I use transition for the subject. It looks really better, so I'm trying and doing this even better. So let's find out, but not today. Right now I need to charge my gimbal. So right now this is the end. Not too much to say. Everything is really fine and good. And how is my English? Is really good. Do I need to improve, or there are some sort of things I need to understand? Sure, do you understand my English or not? I'm guessing I'm doing even better, but there are so many things to improve, so I will definitely do that. So right now this is the end, and